Welcome to Multiversatile. My name is Jake Long, and this channel is all about superhero movies and shows. You can also listen to this as a podcast on Apple Podcasts. Check it out. And today we are talking about a few different things: the Flash opening weekend, Thor 5 possibilities with Chris Hemsworth and his comments, and also the upcoming Secret Invasion and what it means for the MCU. So let's start off with the Flash. Opening weekend was a little bit disappointing. It looks like people weren't exactly racing to get to the theater. Sorry, I had to. The opening weekend box office for The Flash was $55,700,000, comparatively to Spider-Verse, which was $120 million. Spider-Verse did really well, but that's over double what Flash did, so Flash should definitely be doing more. I wouldn't expect it to compete with Spider-Verse, honestly, but it should be doing more. It has a 66% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and 85% audience. So most of the audience that has been going to see it does like it, but there's also just a lot of people not going to see it, and I'm hearing a lot about the CGI, so I don't really know if people will be convinced to go see it. Now, why is that? Well, there's a lot of controversy with Ezra Miller, which honestly I don't really blame people for avoiding the movie if that's why they wanted to avoid it. Also, some people just didn't want to see it. A lot of people are just tired of the DCEU, and that's understandable, especially after what happened with the theatrical cut of Justice League and then Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84. It just was on a downhill slope. And now people are saying that the CGI in The Flash isn't so good. The director, Andy Muschietti, is saying that's a choice, that it's a certain style. I actually haven't seen the movie yet, so I'll have to see for myself. But I think it's safe to say that The Flash in this iteration is not going to be continuing in the DCU, especially since Andy Muschietti has been picked as the director for Batman Brave and the Bold, which is really cool, and he has already had experience directing 2 different Batmans, so it will be exciting to see what he brings to the table. Maybe all of the people who didn't like The Flash will be hesitant. I'm going to remain hopeful, even though I haven't even seen The Flash movie. I'll probably see it sometime this week. But let me know your thoughts on the Flash movie. Have you guys seen it? What do you think? Are you avoiding it? Are you waiting for the new DCU? Do you not even care about the DC Comics movies anymore? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I know this is a little bit late, but I want to address the comments that Chris Hemsworth made about a week or so ago about Thor Love and Thunder, his future as Thor in the MCU. You know, he said, I'm paraphrasing, I don't have the exact quote, but he was saying that it was sillier than it should have been, and it was hard to kind of see that while they were making the movie, which makes sense. And Taika Waititi is a great director, and I can understand that they all kind of got caught up in making it and it was too silly, but at the same time, that is kind of the director's job, is to take a step back and know how this is going to be received and try to foresee editing and all of that type of stuff. But I do understand, and just because he didn't quite hit the mark with this movie doesn't mean I don't think he can do it with another movie. I definitely want to see more Taika Waititi movies. If they go with a different director for Thor 5, that would be great. If Taika comes back, I do hope that he kind of shows us a little bit of what kind of vision he has. And if Kevin Feige brings him back, I think that they will have a good plan. I know things haven't been the greatest at the MCU, but I do think Kevin Feige is starting to clean things up and get ready to make it all better. It would be great to have Chris Hemsworth back as Thor and even see him as in a 5th Thor movie, which I know Bob Iger has suggested that maybe we don't need a 4th and 5th movie. And if we don't actually have a good story, then yeah, I agree. But they did set up Hercules. They could have Hercules chasing down Thor in Secret Wars or some other project, but they did set that up, and that actor is great. Hercules is a cool character. It would be great to see Thor come back. A lot of fans want to see Beta Ray Bill Bill. Personally, I don't really know much about Beta Ray Bill, which might be considered a sin amongst comic book fans, but if they can come up with a great story and have him in it, then I'm all for it too. I just want to see more of a mythological, a epic fantasy type of Thor, the kind that they started building in the first Thor movie, but make it even better. I think it would be great to have Kenneth Branagh back, but it seems like he might be wanting to do other things. Originally, when Thor came out, it seemed like it was going to be the Lord of the Rings of the MCU, and I think if they got back to that, it could potentially be really cool. And I hope that the MCU does value Chris Hemsworth and can bring him a great story to keep him in the MCU as Thor, especially because if they don't, I wouldn't be surprised if he went over to the DCU or if he jumped on a different franchise that took a bunch of his time. Chris Hemsworth is a great talent and the DCU would be lucky to have him. Off the top of my head, I don't know that I can think of the best character for him to play, but I do think he would be a great Hal Jordan in the upcoming Lanterns series. And of course, hopefully those lanterns will appear in movies soon. In the comics, Hal Jordan kind of goes rogue and becomes a bad guy. I think later he becomes good again. Not exactly sure, but I think Chris Hemsworth could pull off this arc. I think it would be kind of cool to see him play Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. So if the MCU doesn't value their Thor enough, then that would be a great opportunity to see Chris Hemsworth more. Of course, I do want him to stay playing Thor, and maybe he can join the DCU down the road. But let me know what characters you think Chris Hemsworth should play in the DCU, if any at all. Maybe he shouldn't be in the DCU, maybe he should focus on other stuff, or do you think he should stay as Thor for a long time, even if they reboot everything? Alright, and the third and final topic for today is the Secret Invasion. The critics' scores are not looking too good. These are the first 2 episodes, so maybe it starts out kind of slow, picks up and gets better as it goes, but right now this just is not a good look for the MCU, and I've been really excited for Secret Invasion, but last week when I was writing a blog post about it, I kind of had a realization, and I probably should have had this realization a while ago, and that is that one of the really cool things about Secret Invasion is that you get to see Skrulls posing as these major heroes. And if you go onto IMDb, there aren't a lot of major heroes in this. War Machine I am happy about, but where are the other ones? They may be just cameos, maybe they're just keeping them from IMDb. But right now, it seems like Secret Invasion in the MCU may not have the same impact on the superheroes of the MCU. But having said that, I am excited to see Samuel L. Jackson back as Nick Fury, so hopefully it will turn out great. I'm definitely going to watch it as soon as I can. Let me know what you think about Secret Invasion. Are you planning on watching it? Do you look forward to it? Are you just tired of these Disney Plus shows? What kind of impact do you think Secret Invasion will have on the MCU? And that is all for me today. If you want to read more about superhero movies and shows, check out our site, multiversatile.com. Thanks for watching, and take care.